don't know, my name is Lynn, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about how to, suggestions for how to sit in a relaxing, comfortable pose, whether it's to begin the yoga practice or whether it's to finish the yoga practice or it's in the middle, anytime. So traditionally, Sukasana is the easy pose. So I don't think Sukasana easy pose is always the same for everybody. But the traditional Sukasana, and again, there's lots of variations and lots of traditions in yoga that will say what Sukasana looks like. With sort of my anger and my understanding, so I'm not an expert at all. I'm just Hatha yoga, which is basically physical yoga, so not particularly any school, but Hatha or Iyengar usually say sit on 2 or 3 or 4 blocks under the sit bones, and that just helps you feel supported, the spine feels supported and lifting. And then you could always use these brick-shaped blocks or anything. You can use blankets, you can use cushions, anything. If you feel that is uncomfortable, if you've got bony feet, I've got bony feet, then you get a blanket and fold it, and you could just bring that around underneath the feet, around the feet, and can sit there. So it's supported around the ankles and the bony parts of our feet. And then if you're sitting in a nice tall spine, just don't feel like you're opening too much. It's more of a lifting and a drawing up. So we can always start with the arms around the back, and we could hold the elbows. And then just close the eyes. And come into sensations in the body. So if the sensations in the body feel not right, if you want to change something, just change. It's never a rush to get into a pose. It's all about the journey into the body. So just find your comfortable way in a nice, relaxed but energized way. So we feel like the heart is opening, but nothing. We don't want the ribs to lift and open. We want to keep a nice draw of energy. So we draw up from the Mula Bandha, drawing up from the perineum pelvic floor, lifting up in a gentle way, not something strong, nothing too tense. Feel relaxed, feel that balance of energy and ease. So kind of shoulder blades, so the ribs are coming forward, but we're drawing the energy up. So by holding the elbows or the upper arms, we just kind of let the shoulder blades roll down the back, relaxing. Just going to look a bit lopsided. And then keeping that energy of the heart, feel the strength in our heart energy, our heart center. So complete compassion for ourselves in this moment. So don't be aware if we're starting to berate ourselves about not being able to do something in a certain way. There's lots of different options. Don't feel, the main thing is you to feel at ease. Sukasana, easy pose. So then they keep the elbows back, and we can bring the heart, hands to the heart, thumbs connecting to the heart. So the shoulder blades, I always think of our shoulder blades, our scapulars as little wings. So just visualizing as you close our eyes, the wings flowing backwards and opening, beautiful wings. Maybe you're visualizing a colour here. So it might be a green or a pink for our compassionate part, or it could be a white energy, anything, really anything. But feel our strength here, our unconditional compassion to ourselves, towards each other. We can always engage with our Ujjayi breath, so it cleanses the back of the throat slightly, and just feel and hear the sound of the breath coming into the moment. And then bringing awareness to the third eye between the eyebrows. Dropping into the wisdom of our being. And drawing up to the crown of the head, into our crown chakra, just above the crown. Universal divine energy. So as we connect all these energies from the earth, the sit bones, rising up through the tummy, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the eyes, the crown, the head. Tune into what we most need today. It might be a thought, it might be an emotion, and we're putting it into a positive frame. Positive affirmation is Sankalpa. I am. I choose. This can be at the beginning of the practice coming in. It can be any point in the practice you may want to feel like you're coming back to yourself, a feeling of coming home. Staying in control of this practice, your practice. Or we could finish the yoga practice with this Sukasana easy pose. So that's just one option. So just to give you a few more options, and again, you may need a lot of blocks because, you know, if you have your knees in line with the hip bones or even lower, you get a nice stretch, a nice opening into the hip flexors. And to get that, you may want quite a few blocks. Oops, daisy. You might need a lot of blocks, so you might want to pile them up. You know, maybe need 4 or 5, and you might even not want to cross your legs. You might have you know, the way our body is built as we are born, we are created. You know, that's just the way our body is. You know, just don't try and force it into something that's not comfortable. If your mind isn't relaxed and it can't just focus in the moment, then, you know, that's not for you. You want an easy pose, a Sukasana pose. So your knees can be quite high up, and you might feel that you want to ground the feet. Because the main thing I always think that I want in my practice is a nice long lifted spine. So we feel all the energy, all the chakras, those energy vortexes spinning, the main 7 from the tail right through to the crown, which all relate to different elements of our body, to our being, whether it's a physical or emotional. So we could just be here, or you might want to have a legs a bit longer, but again, feel lifting. So if your lower back, if you've got lots of tightness, which is very common, especially if you sit a lot in the day, you know, sitting on desks, on sofas, in driving, car, whatever, you know, you kind of tightness around here. So if you're like this, just keep building up. And if honestly, if sitting on the floor isn't for you, if you can't feel at ease sitting on the floor, then you can sit on a chair. Of course, you can sit on a chair, or you can sit on a stool. And if you're going to sit on a chair, I'm only little, so sometimes I don't really, if I sit right on the back of the chair, then sometimes my feet, I don't feel grounded. So you could have blocks underneath, and you can build the blocks up. So you want the knees in a little right angle, feet are flat. I've got a cushion behind my back, which is nice for support. And they've got nice long lifted up for the energy. If you wanted to sit with support on the back, then you can sit your bottom right back to the chair if you wanted to. You know, want to feel at ease. And then if you're here, you could then want to make sure the shoulders are relaxed. You could just let blocks or a cushion or a bolster, anything, just under the back of the arms. So the shoulders relaxed. If our hands are relaxing down, then it kind of might pull our shoulders forward. So we want to have a nice relaxed place. And then if we're sitting here like this, it's always nice just to breathe through the soles of the feet, just to feel grounded. Breathing in, breathing out for the soles of the feet. Again, slightly closing the back of the throat maybe, in our Ujjayi breath, ocean breath. If you want to breathe a little bit through the mouth and the nostrils equally, just, you know, every breath is like a snowflake, it's always different. The main thing is to find ease and stay present in the moment, stay present in the sensations of the body, the physical body, the breath body, the energy body, and the emotional body, and the thinking mind body. So if a mind wanders off, and it will wander off, that's not a problem, that's normal, it's natural. Just acknowledge this like a little passing cloud, And say we'll come back to it later, and then come back to the sensations in the body. So where the breath is coming in and out of the nostrils maybe, tuning into which nostril breathing in or out of. And that will change naturally. And that might be where you find ease. Okay, just a couple more options, and you know, just so you've got lots of things to consider. There's not one way of doing this. So if you want to sit on a bolster, you could use the bolster with some blocks underneath to lift it up. But you know, 2 or 3. And if you're going to sit on a kind of a bit of a hero pose, so the legs are coming back, feet are facing right back, turned sideways actually. So as many blocks underneath, so we feel that there's no weight on the legs, on the knees. So we want to make sure that the knees are completely comfortable. And if you've got a belt or a blanket you want to just put around your waist and turn it into a little tiny belt kind of thing. You know, just wrapping it round, tying it. So you want the weight off the knee. So it might, I think, if I was going to stay here a bit longer, I'd have another 2 or 4 blocks underneath maybe, just so there's no weight on the knees. And then just feel like we're slightly tucking the tail under, just slightly, and feel that energy lift. And then the hands can just rest into the belt or the blanket. Shoulders relaxing down the back. Deep breath out. On the breath in, just feel a gentle energy lifting from the perineum pelvic floor, Muladhara chakra, right through the crown of the head. And when you are comfortable, lots of different ways. If the mind is really, really busy and you've scanned the body, you've checked everything, relaxed and made any adjustments, then you just come into watching the breath and counting the breath. As you breathe in, counting 1. Just watching the breath out. As you breathe in, next 2. Watching the breath out. And you carry on the breath in, counting at the start of the breath in from 1 up to 10. And if you get distracted, and I often only get to 3, you know, it's fine. Just come back to the number you remember when you come back. Don't berate yourself. You know, we've all got minds that think, and if we didn't, it would be because we had nothing going on at all, maybe. Anything else to think about? It's very hard. So then it's where you have a blank mind. So just kind of little tricks just to keep it in the moment. And then when it goes off, and it will, just say it's okay, come back. And then if you wanted a meditation cushion, you can get meditation cushions. You know, it's just completely up to you. Lots of different ways to sit. Easy pose, Sukasana. I hope that's a little bit of enlightenment, a little bit of inspiration maybe. But every time you come onto the mat, it will be different. So just make this work for you. Namaste.